So today's topic is IP address and subnetting. So IP address means it is the internet protocol address given to a computer or a network device over the network to identify that device in the network estate. Okay, and subnetting means it is the process of dividing a larger number of network into small network that I will explain you in the last slides. Okay, so if you move on to the next slide, like we have our address, right? We have our address now, so we have our address, our identity is our address. Like you, if you want to tell your identity, you have to tell your address. Okay, your name is maybe Chandu and you are from Bangalore, and your address is, area number is this one, door number is this one, your father name is this one. Like that you have to mention your address. That is your local address proof. And if you want to state level, maybe you have your multiple other address proofs will be there, right? Like you have driving license will be there, your voter identification card is there, and like your Aadhaar card is there at the national level, international level you have your passport is there, correct? So like the computer will also have multiple addresses. Okay, those address will be classified into two types of address. One is physical address, another one is logical address. This physical address is nothing but it is the address given to the physical hardware of your computer. So that address will never ever get changed at the lifetime of the computer. So when the manufacture one computer, one laptop or a desktop, okay, so that computer will have an address. Okay, that is called as physical address, and we also call that address as the MAC address. MAC is nothing but media access control address. Like when you buy a phone, right? The phone will have a physical two numbers. One physical number will be there, another one is your logical number will be there. That logical number is your phone number. Correct na? You can change n number of phone numbers whenever you want to wish. If you want today you are in BSNL, you have one number. Tomorrow you are going to Airtel, you will have a different number. Jio, you will have a different number. But the IMEI number of the mobile will be same until and unless you change your phone. And polices and any criminal cases are there. That time if they want to track your phone, they don't use your phone number, they will use your IMEI number to track where are you, in which location or which network you are coming under, right? So that is the physical address. And you may ask a question, sir, in which part of the computer that physical address will be stored? The physical address will be stored in the network interface card of the computer. NIC card, we will plug our LAN card, right, in that device. Or when you use your Wi-Fi, that Wi-Fi card will also have one physical address, that is MAC address. So basically, if you have 10 network interface card, okay, one interface card will have one number, and that depends on what device that you are connecting. If you are connecting via LAN, that will pick up the LAN card physical address, and that will never get changed until and unless you change the network interface card due to some reasons. Okay, due to some reason you change your network interface card, that time only that physical address will be getting changed, otherwise it won't get changed. Okay, so if you see my computer now, I'll go to ncpa.cpl. You can see multiple network interface cards here. You see, I have a Bluetooth connector, VMware adapter, Ethernet card, okay, Ethernet 2, okay, and multiple, and Wi-Fi is also there. Okay, if I go to command prompt and if I say ipconfig/all, it will list out the address of all the network interface card. How many cards are there here? I have about 8 cards are here, network interface card. And if you see, if you go to the command prompt again here, the command prompt will also have 8 devices information. See here. See, my first network interface card is Ethernet adapter Ethernet. See, Ethernet adapter Ethernet. It is a disconnected state. That is the reason you don't see IP address and other stuff, but you still see one physical address. 8C1645BC9196. It is the 12 digit alpha and numeric number will be there. Alphabets and numerical number will be there. Okay. And if you see the second one, Ethernet adapter 3, that is also in disconnected state, but you still see it has got a physical address which is 009 090F AA0001, and that is different than the first one. This one, see, that is different and this is different. And similarly the third one, see, wireless LAN adapter media disconnected, it will have a separate MAC address, see, physical address. And the last next one is LAN adapter area, okay, that is also same, different one. B7 B6 is there. And if you go to the other one, the working one, this is my working one, Ethernet one, okay, the VMware one, see, it is also having physical address, new different physical address. And since that is connected, you can see the IP address. The preferred IP address is 192.168.44.1. Your subnet mask is there, and lease, this is a DHCP given IP address, right? See, the lease obtained means when the lease has happened, this IP address is given to this computer. It was on 5th August 2024 7:1 a.m. and 30 seconds. Today morning when I powered on the machine, right, this machine has got this IP address. And what is the lease expiry? You see here, tomorrow. It is today only, it seems, 5th August 2024 8 o'clock. For 1 hour it has got the lease. And it will also tell you if it is a DHCP server. See, this is a DHCP server. If you want to know which DHCP server is giving the IP address for your computer, that you can see if you put IP address ipconfig space /all command, that will give all this information, all the network related information. See, this is your DHCP server IP 192.168.44.254. It's the VMware DHCP. I don't have any DHCP, but VMware work has a DHCP also sometimes, maximum every time, okay. And this is your DHCP v6 ID, okay. And this is your DHCP v6 IP address, version 6 IP address, and NetBIOS TCP it is enabled. So these are the information, okay. So why I am showing you this one, here you are noticing that every network interface has got a different physical IP address, okay. So normally if somebody asks you what is your physical IP address, you can give whatever network adapter connected, that one. In my case I am using this VMware, right, which one my case here, if I go to ncpi.cpl, you can give this Wi-Fi, see, Wi-Fi. So somewhere here Wi-Fi is there, this one, see, Wi-Fi. This is my, you can give this IP address for the people. This is your MAC physical address is MAC. This is your MAC address because I'm using over the internet, right? And people wanted to see me on the internet. If somebody want to search for me over the internet, they should search for this one because this is the IP address connected with the Wi-Fi settings or Wi-Fi internet, okay. So this is the physical address. Any question here, guys?
No, sir.
Okay. So that's about the physical address. We don't study much about the physical address, but you should know when somebody talks about computer addressing, there are two types of addressing. One is physical address, another one is logical address. So physical address means it is the address given to a physical computer, okay, and that will never get changed unless the lifetime of the computer, okay. Very rarely it will be changed whenever there is some corruption happens or failure happens of the device, okay. Physical address will also call it as MAC address. It's media access control address. It's a unique number. It is a global unique. In the entire world, this address will not have by any other computer, okay. It's a global unique number, okay. And then the logical address. The logical address is nothing but our IP address, guys, okay. The logical address means our IP address. And why it is a logical address? See, when you look at a problem, right, the logic for resolving that particular problem will be different for a different person. If I see one, if I want to go from here to Jayanagar or Vijayanagar, okay, what I will do, I will, in my mind, multiple roads will be coming. One, I should go to Yeshwanthpur, from there I should take Card Road and go to Vijayanagar, okay. And one more road from, because I am staying in Yelahanka side, so from Yelahanka, if you go to Majestic from Mysore Road, again you can go by that way. Or you can go to Cottonpete, from there also you can go, right? There are multiple roads are there. So like when you look at a problem, the logic for resolving the problem will be vary from person to person. Okay, it is relative. So why we call IP address as a logical address? Because here when you change the network, the IP address will be keep on changing. So today you are at home, you are connected at home, you connected your Wi-Fi mobile or Wi-Fi broadband. If you see the IP address, it may give you 192.168.1.10. And due to some net latency issue, you switch that hotspot from your broadband to your mobile hotspot. That time if you check, it will have a different address. Maybe that time it may have around 10.11.12.13. Okay, and if you go to your office, there if you check, it may be 172.16.0.10 or 172.16.0.10 or 192.168.100.1, something like that. Because every network, your IP address will be keep on changing, and that is the reason we call it as internet protocol address. Like you are in a rented house, okay, and that address will be there in your Aadhaar card. You will change your house to some other area, then you will go and change your Aadhaar address in the Aadhaar center, correct na? Because that is your temporary address, that's your logical address, that is your mailing address. Okay, that is about the logical address. Clear the differentiation between the physical and logical address? Any confusions, guys, here?
No, sir.
Okay, see, foundation is very important, because going forward it will be keep on increasing. Okay, now we will only study the further, we will only study about the IP address. Now you know addresses, two types of address, physical and logical, and in logical we will study about the IP address, and the IP address we will further classify into multiple types now. So in the IP address we have two types of IP address, guys. One is IP version 4, another one is IP version 6. This IP version 4 is there, right? It is the 32-bit logical address. It is a 32-bit logical address, and it is only numerical value. It will only have the numerical value, and the number vary between 1 to 255. Okay, 255 is a broadcast ID, then we will only consider it to 1 to 254. Okay, so basically the IP address when you write, it will be, you will always write the IP address in the four boxes, correct? Now here if you see, I have given on IP address example here. IP address is equal to network ID plus host ID. I will explain you that what is that. Okay, but here below you can see one IP address 192.168.39.240, and in all the boxes you can see the number is varying between 1 and 255. Imagine the numbers are vary between 1 to 255, and I will explain you why it is 255 only, okay, in some time. Okay, so now you should know IP version 4 means it's a 32-bit logical address. It will have 4 octet of each 8 bits. See, 8 total, it is 32-bit. So they have divided into 4 octets. Octa means 8. 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8. 8 fours are 32. This is called as 32-bit. And bit is nothing but zeros and ones. Bits is zeros and ones. Bit means it is 1. Okay, and if you see 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 and 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1, so there are 32 ones are there. Can you see, guys? There are 32 ones are there. Okay, and that is the reason this is called as bits. Okay, this is called as octets. Okay, and the number here in the boxes vary between 1 to 255. 255 is broadcasting, and we don't use that 255. We will only use up to 254, but you can write 255. If you mention 255, that is a broadcast address, it will be there. Okay, not to worry, but that is also a valid IP, but that is broadcast IP address. Okay, but we will not give that IP address to any computers. Okay, for any computers or any network devices, we will only give maximum up to 1 to 254 in the on premises. But in the cloud, that is different. In the cloud, first 3 address and the last 2 address will be dedicatedly kept for the cloud usage. I will explain you when you are coming to the cloud classes in any other next batch. Okay, not to worry. So I think now this is clear. What is IP version 4? It is clear. The IP version 4 means it is the 32-bit logical address. What is the 32-bit? You can see here 1111. This column total 32 ones are there. That is the reason we call it as 32-bit, and it has got 4 octet. Okay, octa means it is 8. That is the reason 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, 4 octas are there, and that is the reason we call it as 4 octates. And the IP address vary between 1 to 254. Okay, and I'll tell you in the next slide why it is 254 only or 255 only. Okay, that's about the IPv4. And IPv6 is right. This IPv6 is, it is 128 bit alpha numeric number. It is alpha numeric plus special characters will be there. Okay, so that is the reason we call that as 64-bit, because it is a 128-bit alphanumeric plus special character it includes. I'll show you how in IPv4 and IPv6 looks like. Okay, by looking at only you can understand. And you may have a question now, why people are moving towards IPv6? We are having IPv4 already, right? See, if you go to about 10 years back, if you want to see a mobile phone, maybe hardly in one home, one landline or one mobile phone would be there that time, was there that time. But now if you come right after 10-15 years journey, if you look at, every person has got 3 to 4 mobiles. I have 4 mobiles. Okay, in my home we have around 6 to 7 mobiles, and we have smart TV, we have smart refrigerator, we have smart fans, okay, and smart watches. So everything is smart. So when you say smart, that means that is a network device. Okay, you have Alexa, you have Alexa bulb. So many things are there. Everything is internet word today. So every device has got one IP address. Imagine if the usage is going like this, the IPv4 is just 32-bit number, okay, and that will get exhausted in the future. For the future generation to use the IP, they may not have the IP address. So considering that in the mind, okay, the internet research team will be there. Okay, okay, what they are doing, they are exploring a new version of IP address to reserve or to have the IP address for the future generation, and that is the reason IP version 6 is invented. So IP version 6 is not heavily used now. Only few companies like Facebook, Meta, or Microsoft, Google, big Amazon, those people are using it. Not for heavily, but all the applications are now deploying both IPv6 and IPv4, because they don't, whenever they want to do cutover, right, it will be easy for them. Okay, that is the reason. And now I will show you how when IPv4 and IPv6 looks. Okay, so let me see. Do you all know Google, right? So if I want to see the Google's domain IP address, how can I see the Google domain IP address, guys? Or any domain, it is Facebook, Google, LinkedIn, Amazon. If I want to see the IP address of the domain, how can you see? So there is a command, multiple commands are there. You can even see ping and say google.com. So here you are checking whether the communication is there between your computer and the Google domain. So when you type google.com here, see that is getting resolved to this IP address 142.250, 194 and 38. So this is your Google domain name, domain's IP address. This is one way of getting the IP address. Now I know this is the Google's domains. And do you see here alphanumeric? In this, do you have alphanumeric, guys? Is it an alphanumeric? Do you have alphabets and numerical value both?
Numeric.
It has got only numeric. That means it is IP version 4. Understood? Okay. Now there is another way. NSLOOKUP. Type google.com. This is one way of checking the IP address of the domain, any domain. Now you see Here you are just checking the IP address, but you are not checking the communication. So first command, you are trying to check the communication between your computer and the Google domain. So ping is a command, packet internet grouping. It's a command used to check the connectivity between a domain or between the devices. Okay, here the connectivity between my laptop and the Google domain I just checked. Okay, sometimes from my laptop to some device. Okay, that can also be checked. No worries. That gives the communication as well as the IP address of my computer. I mean of the Google domain. And this NS lookup space google.com, you are telling your computer, your DNS server, you are telling, can you please get me what is the IP address of this google.com? NS lookup means name server lookup. A name server is nothing but your DNS server. So you are asking your DNS server, do you know this google.com? Can you please give me the IP address of this person? Then it will go and check in the DNS and it will tell non-authoritative. Non-authoritative means he don't know the address. My computer DNS don't know the address. With the help of some other DNS server, he has resolved and he is giving me, yes, Google means there are two IP addresses are there for the same domain. One is your 2404688040028 200E. Another one is 142.250.194.238. Here you can see two IP addresses. Can somebody tell me now which is my IPv4 and which is my IPv6 here by looking at?
Numerical is IP4 and
Yes,
alpha numerical is IPv6.
exactly. See, the IPv4 I already told you it's a 32-bit numerical value. It has got 4 octet. It has got everything numerical and it has got 4 octet. 1 2 3 4. It has got 4 octet. Correct na? So then it is IPv4 and this is IPv6 because you can see numbers, special characters, colons, and you have C and E as a alphabets. So this is your IPv6. If you type both, if you take this IP address and go to the browser, okay, you will see the Google. See, it has got Google. Sorry, sometimes it will mask the IP address will be there. I think I have entered wrong. I think it's a masked IP address because IPv6 is not globally enabled now. Okay, that is the reason I'm unable to open. But if you see this IP address, right, 142.250.194.238, you will be able to browse the Google. See, it has opened Google. I have used that IP address, but it is resolving to the Google. Okay, now what I will do, I will do Facebook. Facebook.com or Amazon.com. Okay, so I'll take this IP address. I'll go to browser, just put it and enter. See, it is opening. It is giving some warning, but that's okay if you safely proceed. If you accept, see, it went to Amazon. Okay, so this is how you can find an IP address or the information of the device. Okay, so now we'll go to the slide. I think now you got an understanding what is my IPv4 and what is my IPv6. Clear? Is this slide clear, guys? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Now, IP, as I already told, IPv6 is still not used widely. Okay, we are only using IP version 4. Wherever you go, people will ask you question in the IP version 4 only, because we will run another 20-25 years with the existing IP address. Okay, so let us study on the IPv4 for now. So this IPv4 and IPv6, now we are able to identify. But if I ask you, there is further classification like public IP and private IP. Will you be able to understand what is my public IP and what is my private IP? First of all, do you know what is public and what is private? Can somebody tell me what is public and what is private? Generally,
Mm, Public means it's using over through over internet.
yeah,
Private means it's a office.
exactly. So public means it is open for everyone. Like you have public transport, anybody can use. There is no racism. There is no religion. There is no limited to country, state. Anybody from the world can go and use the public transports, right? But private means you have your own car, private car. You have your own jet, private jet. You will not simply allow an unknown person there. Correct, na? So it is limited to your premises. So if I talk about IP address, the IP address which is accessible over the internet, anybody can access. I have just access Facebook. I have just access Amazon. Because if I know that IP address, anybody can access the sites. That is called as public IP, and public IP is a chargeable IP address. You have to buy the IP address from the service provider, either Jio or Tata or Airtel, or you have to pay monthly around 1500 rupees and buy the public IP address for your usage. And if you have public IP in your laptop, I can even connect from my laptop to your laptop without having any authentication. If I simply go to the browser like this, or if I just put the IP address like this, and if I hit enter, I can see all the content of your computer. So that means the security is less. High risk is there because it is allowed, it is exposed to the internet world. I'm not aware who is penetrating to my computer, who is targeting my data. Correct, right? So public is chargeable IP address. It is exposed to the internet, okay, and it has got very less security and high risk because my computer, my data, everything is exposed to the internet. Okay, so that is the reason we don't use public IP everywhere. Okay, in the offices and all, we will use the private IP addresses. Say, for example, you are working in an organization, you have some internal applications, your leave portal or HR portal or some other reimbursement portal or attendance portal. Those cannot be accessed via public IP. You have to connect your VPN, you have to go to your network, and you have to connect, you have to submit them. Correct, na? Otherwise it won't happen. Correct, right? So that is called as private. Private means it is limited to your office network only, and private IP addresses, free IP addresses. Okay, now you got to know public is chargeable, private is free IP address. Okay, and public has got less risk, high risk, private has got less risk, right? So how will you identify what is my public IP address or which is my private IP address? If I write an IP address, how will you identify whether it is a public IP or a private IP? So let us understand that in the next slide. But before that, the since I told you private IP is used at the offices, let us understand the classification of the IP addresses. So I told you, right, the IP address will be vary from 1 to 255. Okay, this will get further classified. Okay, about 5 types. Okay, so let us understand what are those classes now in the next slide. Any question in this slide before I move on?
No, sir.
Okay, so this slide is already covered. Okay, see, the IP address is further classified into 5 classes as I just told you in the previous slide. The first class is class A, second one is class B, class C, class D, and class E. So there are 5 classes, class A to class E. And how to differentiate which IP addresses belong to which class? If you look at, when you write an IP address, it will have 4 octet, I said. Correct, na? The first octet, you have to look for the first octet. So if the first octet is started between 1 to 126, guys, it is class A. Okay. If the IP addresses begin with 128, see continuity is there. One after 1 to 126. Okay. After 126, it is started 128. One number is missing, that is 127. I will tell you why it is. But remaining numbers, if you see, 128 to 191. After 191, it started 192 up to 223. After 223, starting 224, and 224 to 239. After 239, it is starting 240, and maximum is 255. Okay, so the continuity is there from 1 to 255. So if the first octet is begin with 128 and varies between 191, if you write the first octet between any number, either 128 or 129 and 130 or 180 or 190, okay, that is all belongs to class B. I will write couple of IP address to check your understanding in the next slide. Okay, so then class C, similarly, it is 192 to 223, and class D is 224 to 239, 242, 255 is a class E. Okay, so if you see here in the remarks, the first three classes only be used. We can use only the first three classes, guys. Okay, and the last two classes like class D and class E are used for multicasting and the research purposes. Okay, they are still doing the investigation. How can we elaborate, or how can you better use or max use? Some research and some multicasting activities are going on. So the class D and class E are not in the usage. I mean, that is, they are not publicly usable. They are not used by the civilians. Okay, normal civilians. Okay, that's why it is kept reserved for some multicasting and research purposes. And the first three classes, class A, class B, class C, are usable IP addresses. Okay, and if you see here, 127 I missed. So this 127, if an IP address that start with 127 beginning, first number, last number can be anything I'm talking about. First number only I'm referring. Okay, the last number can be anything. Last three number, either 127, 127, 127, 127, or 127, 123, 127, 100, 1, 201, or 250, anything you can write. Okay, only the first number, if it start with 127, that means that is the loop back adapter IP address. Means every network interface card will have some IP address called loopback IP address. You can go to the command prompt, okay, and type ping 127.1.1.1, and if you hit enter, you will see the response. Why this loopback adapter IP address is used? This is used to check the health of your computer, your health of your network interface card of the computer. So if you are getting response, means that means your network interface card is working perfectly fine. There is no issue with the network interface card. You can isolate the issue when you are troubleshooting network issues. First and foremost thing that you have to do, you need to check whether the network interface card is pinging or not. How to check? 127 111, or you can put any number. 120, you begin with 127 and you tell any number, but the number will be vary between 1 to 254 or 255. Let me check 255. 124, 255, 254, hit enter. See, because 255 is the it should not usable because it is loop back adapter. If you put 250, it should work. Okay, sorry, I think I have not added ping now. Ping, see, 255 is also working here. I think last digit, let me check. See, for loopback adapter, I think it should be fine, I guess. See, 255. If you put 256, it says, see, please check the name and try again. Ping could not be find the host 127, 124, 255, 256 because 256 is invalid IP address because the range is crossed. If you just make it 252, even 5, it will work. See. Okay, so that 127 is an IP address called as loopback adapter IP address. It will be used to check the IP address or the health status of the network interface card. If you are getting ping response back, that means the network interface card is working perfectly fine. Okay. So here, any question here? Are you clear with class A, B, C, D, E? Do you want me to repeat? Say yes or no.
No, sir.
Okay. So now we'll move on to the next slide. So I have written right. So the IP address means here if you see, I've written IP address means it is network ID plus host ID. You may ask a question, sir, why have you written no network ID plus host ID, and why do we need multiple classes of IP addresses? Correct. Now we can use whatever IP address I wanted, right? Why do we segregate class A, class B, class C? What is the relevance of it? See, that is very important question. Okay, if you would have asked. Okay, see here, since I already told IP means it is this host bit plus network bit is called as IP address. H means it is host, means number of computers. Network means N, that means number of network. In your organization, if you have N number of computers and less number of offices, say for example, Microsoft. Microsoft in the entire world, they hardly have the office. Around 50, 55 countries, they may have their offices. And if you consider the locations and all, they may have around, imagine, okay, they may have around 100 offices. Okay, imagine. So, but the employees are more there. Lakhs together of employees are there. And for every employee, they are giving one computer. That means every computer should need an IP address. If that is the case, which class of the IP address they will be going for? They need less number of network, but more number of computers they need. If that is the case, which option they will opt? Guys, I'm asking a question.
Sir, can you please repeat the question, sir?
See, I'm asking a question. See, first you try to understand this table, first table, class A, class B, class C. Okay. See, when I say IP address, it is the combination of host and the network bit. Okay. And if you see, 4 octets are there. This is octet 1, octet 2, octet 3, octet 4. IP address means it's a 4 octet will be there. I told you, right? In class A, also you have 4 octet, B also you have 4 octet, C also 4 octet. Why do we have this segregation? If you ask me, this segregation is made for selecting the relevant class of the IP address according to the need. Okay, if you go for class A, less number of networks can be available, more number of computers can be connected there. H means host, N means network. If you have very less offices, say for example you started one company in Bangalore, one office is there in Manyata, another office is in Whitefield, one more office is there in maybe Bellandur, okay, EcoSpace. But in each offices you have lakhs together of employees, here 2 lakhs, there 2 lakhs, there 2 lakhs, around 6 to 8 lakhs users are there. Okay, and you need to give IP address for all the users, but you don't need much network. If that is the case, which class of IP address you will opt or select here?
Class
Class
A,
A.
sir.
Yes, class A, because there you need less number of network but more number of computers. That time you will go for the class A. Okay, and class B, you don't know, you have just started the organization startup. In your mind, you don't have any plan of expansion. You wanted to see how the things goes. Okay, you are equally planning. Okay, whenever you start company, we may probably I may start in Bangalore, then I'll start in entire the India, multiple locations. But you are still not have the proper plan on that. Okay, and you wanted to have a room for thinking further, or you want to have a room for establishing further. That time which option you will go for? You are 50-50 kind of thing. Mind, if that is the case, which option you will go for?
Class B, sir.
Yes, because class B, even if you increase the network or even if you increase the host, you still have room. 50-50 options are there. Equal number of network is there and equal number of hosts are there. That time you will go with class B. And one more peculiar example I'll give you for the another one example. So you might have seen this Airtel outlet, Geo outlet, and any other mobile network outlets. Every area we will have 2-3 offices are there. In in Yalanka itself, there are 10 to 12 Airtel offices are there. Okay, and in each offices you don't see much users. Hardly one or two computers will be there. Here, the requirement is more for the network because in one area only 4 offices. In Bangalore, we have around 1,800 Airtel outlets are there. This data was about 2-3 years back data. Around 1,800 or 2,000, close to 2,000 Airtel outlets are there in Bangalore. Okay, and in each offices, hardly 2, 3, 4 computers will be there. So here the requirement is there for more number of networks and users are less. 120 H means 255, 124 bit. Okay, it is 8. Sorry, it is 8 bit. 124 IP, 254 IP address will be there. Okay, if that is the case, which class they will opt for?
Class C.
Class C, because there you have option for more number of network and anyway users are less. In each offices hardly 5 to 10 engineers will be there. Engineers, I'm not talking about engineers, computers. 4 computers, maybe one router, one switch, one printer, hardly 10 IP addresses enough for one offices. So if that is the case, people will go with class C. So now you got to know why the classification is done. The classification is done based on the requirement. Okay, if your requirement is more for the computer, please go with class A. Class A, you know, right? It is 1 to 126, the range. 1 to 126. If you write any IP address starting between 1 to 126, that will go to class A. If you write any IP address that start with 128 to 191, class B. Okay, let me write and let me make sure that your understanding is correct. Okay, so now here A, right? It is 1 to 126, 128 to 191, 192 to 223. So I will write some IP address. Now you need to tell me two things: whether it is which class, okay, valid or invalid, or which version. Okay, this IP, these three things you need to tell me. Okay, so let me write one IP address now. 1.2.3.4. What is this IP address? Is it a valid IP
Class
first of
C.
all? It's a class A. Yes, valid.
Valid.
Okay. Which version?
4. IPv4.
Okay. And I want everybody to speak. Okay. So now I will write one more thing. 126 dot 125 dot 191 dot 250. This one.
Class
Class
B,
A.
Class.
class B, sir. I think.
Why class B?
A.
No, let him speak. Ravi, Teja, tell
Uh,
me.
this Octa is more than 250 now, sir.
Where 250? See, I am telling you only to look for the first octet, right? You need to see
Okay.
only this number. See, this number is belongs where? In A, B, C, where it belongs to. Forget about this 3. You don't need to consider this 3 for classification.
Okay.
Yeah. Now tell me which class it is belongs to.
It's an A class.
Okay. Now 150 dot 254 dot 254 dot 1 200. This one, which class it is belongs?
Class B. Invalid.
Okay. So 150 dot 1 dot 254 dot 200. Now
Class B.
Class B valid IP address.
Valid.
Chandu, still confusion? Now, okay. One more. 200 dot 200 dot 254 dot 10. Which IP address it is?
Class C. Valid.
It's a Class C valid IP version 4. Okay. So, see, just look for the first IP, na? And see what IP address this belongs to. See, this one is belongs to 1 to 126, then Class A. Okay. This 150 belongs in between 128 and 191, then it is B. This 200 is belongs in between 192 and 223, hence it is Class C. Very simple. Don't look for the 3 octet remaining, the last 3 octet. Only look for the first octet. I think this is clear now.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Yeah, clear,
Okay.
sir.
2 more I will write, and please everybody has to tell one. Okay. I will ask name, you have to tell me. Okay. Okay. 100 dot 100 dot 100 dot 100. Ah, Keshav.
Class A valid, sir.
Okay. 200 dot 200 dot 200 dot 200. Raviteja.
Class B, sir.
Okay. So Class B.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Let me make it, it is easy for you to understand. Okay. See now, I have written 200.
Oh, sorry.
It is Class B. You said which one? So you said
Class
Class
B,
B,
sir.
but it is Class
Yes.
C. See here,
Yeah,
200
more than
belongs.
200. Oh,
It
more
is
than
2.
192 is there.
192 and 223. Now that is comes in
Yep.
C, Class C. Na?
Yes. Okay.
So that is why it's Class C. Okay. You take the picture. I will send you a picture. Okay.
Yep.
You take that and you can practice. No problem. Okay. Now for Chandu, for you. Okay. So say for example 128 dot 1 dot 2 dot 3.
128 class B, sir.
See, why Class B? Can you please tell me?
First octet is in B.
Okay, first octet is between.
It is in B.
Yeah,
128 and
yeah.
191.
180 belongs or comes in between 128 and 191. Hence, it is Class B.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is clear. Now
Yes.
you are able to tell me. Okay, the class, which class this IP addresses belongs to. Okay, and one more thing, I will let me clarify here only. So I was telling you now to write the IP address like 255 is the maximum number, right? Why this max 255? And can you please tell me how many bits in IP version 4 will be there?
32.
It is
32 bits.
32 bits. If I want to convert this bits into octet, how what I have to write?
1111.
Yeah, 1
One,
minute.
one 8 times dot 8 times.
1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Here 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. One more one, nah? Yes. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Okay. So now this 255 I have converted into 32 bit, and that 32 bit I have converted into 4 octet. Correct? Huh? Now there is a formula. Okay. 2 to the power of n minus 1. This is the formula to find, to convert bits value to the numerical value. Okay, so what I will do, I'll apply this formula here. Okay, so 2 to the power of 0 plus 2 to the power of 1 2 3 4 5, 6, and 7. So 1 minute, let me take 1 octet so that it will be easy. Let me take the 1 octet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 1, 2 to the power of 2, 2 to the power of 3, 2 to the power of 4, 2 to the power of 5, 2 to the power of 6, 2 to the power of 7. So 2 to the power of 0 means what? It is 1. 2 to the power of 0 is 1. Okay. 2 to the power of 2 is 2. 2 to the power of 2 is 4. 2 to the power of 3 is 8. 2 into 2 into 2. 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8. Understood? And 2 to the power of 4. If you write 2 into 2 into 2 into 2. 2 to the power of 4 means multiply 2 by 4. 2 4 times. So 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8, 8 2s are 16. See, I'm writing 16 here. Okay. So if you put one more 2 for 2 to the power of 5, 16 2s are 32. 32 into 2, 64. 64 into 2, 128. If you sum up all these things, it will come to 256. And my formula is there 2 to the power of n minus 1. Okay. So the 2 to the power of n is now 256. Minus 1 means it is 254. So 255, and that is the reason we always write 255 max. When you have time, please write this in your book and practice it. Okay, clear na?
Sir, in between IP address 0 also will come and that 0 also will be counted, sir.
Where 0 comes? 0 never comes,
In
na?
IP address never come. Okay,
0,
okay.
0, 0 will come, but 0 is not a number, na? So I will tell you next. Next is that
Okay,
one
okay.
only. Now let me see here. 2 plus, let me add some math. 2 plus 1 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16 plus 32 plus 64 plus 128 equals, see, no, I think I have correct, it is 255 only, sorry. Okay, I have written it wrong. This is 255 only, minus 1 we do, that is why we will write it 254. Okay, so it is 255. Formula is there, 2 to the power of n minus 1. 2 to the power of n is 255 minus 1. So the maximum number is 254. We will write for the IP address. Clear? Clear now,
Yes,
guys?
sir.
Now, yeah. So if you understand why we write here 255 only max. Okay. So 255 is the network bit. 255 we will write. See, in the IP address we will write only 254 max, but 255 comes na. The 255 will use it for the subnet mask. See here, if you put network bit represent by 1, host bit represent by 0, you will be able to understand the subnet mask. So let me take the first example, NHHH. Okay. Another 5 minutes. Okay. Class A is first octet is network H H H. So N means 1, H means 0. Okay. So for the formula I have just now calculated, if I put 1 1 1 1 1, that means it is 255 maximum number. Correct na? Correct na? 254 only came here. See here, it is 255
Yes, sir.
only. Okay. And if you put 0 0 0 on top, 2 to the power of 0, 2 to the power of 0, if you multiply by 0, it is 0 only, na? So then it is 0 0 0. So the subnet mask for class A is this one, 255.0.0.0. So class B, it is 2 octet for network and 2 octet for H host. So same here goes 255.255.0.0. This is your subnet mask for class B. So class C, now you know what is the network bit class C? 3 bits are for network and only 1 bit for host. So here, if you apply the same formula, 255, 255, 255 dot 0 is your subnet mask for class C. Hope this is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that is what I have represented here. See, class A, 8-bit represented by network, and if you put the formula 2 to the power of n minus 1 formula, it will go to, I mean, if you put, don't do the formula there, you just have to put numbers. Okay, if you calculate 2 to the power of 1 to 2 to the power of 7, if you sum up everything, 255. To calculate the IP address, you need to 2 to the power of n minus 1. But to calculate the subnet, you just have to put 2 power, you have to raise the 2 power, raise the powers, okay, 1 to 7. So if you sum up, it will come 255. See, 255, 255, 255. I think this is clear now. Okay, so last option. Sir, now I understood how to classify class A, class B, class D, class E, and IP address, whether it is a public or a private. Sorry, what all things we learnt? Sorry. So let me go on quick. So physical address, you know, logical address, now you know IP version 4, IP version 6. Okay. Now you know classes of A, B, C, D, E. Okay. And you can understand the ranges of the IP addresses now, what class the IP addresses belongs to. And you are able to identify whether it is a valid IP, invalid IP, or which version. Okay. And now you know even how this 255 and 254 comes. Okay. How the subnet mask will be derived. Okay. For each classes. Okay. Then now last thing is, how can you identify whether my IP address is a private IP or a public IP? Because I told you public IP means it's a chargeable IP address. If that is the case, how can I safeguard my IP address? Or how will I know whether I use an IP address, will that be chargeable or not? Correct, na? So to that, see, the network provider has agreed and they have given one IP address in each classes, because we only use 3 classes, class A, class B, class C. In each classes, they have reserved one particular range of IP address for the private usage. Okay. Apart from that, if you write any other number, that is public only. See, in class A, they have given 10. If you write an IP address starting with 10, remaining 3 numbers, anything you write, that is private IP. Class B, 172.16. The first 2 character you have to write 172.16. The remaining 2 numbers you can write whatever you want, that is private. 190, if the IP address start with 192.168 and 00 place, you can do whatever number you wanted, that is private. Apart from this 10, 172 and 192, if you write any number, that is public. Okay, now let me write one IP address for the private usage. Okay, 10.0.0.1. Whether it is the 10 is belongs to the 10 is there in the range, class A? Yes or no?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. And the remaining number I can put any number. So 001 I have put. So this is a valid class A private IP address. It is a class A valid and private. See, 0 can be put in the middle, Keshav, but it should not put in the end.
Oh, okay.
Okay. See, this is 10.0.0.0 is a network ID. See, they are telling in this network ID you can write the numbers.
Okay.
That's why what I have taken the network ID 10.0.0.0 and written one IP address 10.0.0.0.1. 10,001 is a number, right?
Yes, sir.
That's why it's a valid IP. But if you write like 10.1.2.0, this is not an IP address, because at the end you have 0. 0 is not a number, it is an network ID. That's why you see everywhere last 00 is there. Okay, say for example, you are having an IP address 192.168.100.200, and some people will ask you in the interview, can you please tell me what is the network ID? What is this class belongs to? 192.168. So this is belongs to class C. So class C, network bit means what? Network bit, first three are network bit, last bit is host bit, correct? Huh? Then you have to do 192.168.100.0. This is your network ID because this is a class C. If it is class A, like 10.1.2.10, okay, what you have to do? You have to put 10 like this and
0, 0, 0.
0, 0, 0. This is your network ID for this IP address. Because it is, you have to see which class it is belongs to, and you have to write the n place, you have to write the same number, and h places you have to put the 0. Hope this is clear. This is little confusion, huh? Chandu, Raviteja.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. So what, Chandu, are you clear or still confused?
A little bit confused.
Okay. See, let me take this to the another slide. This one. So I have already told you. First, let me clarify the private and public. Okay. So I'll make it a little bit bigger. 1 second. In class A, 10.0.0.0 172.16. This is your primary basics. You should know all these numbers. That's why IP addressing is very, very important. 192.168.0.0. This is your class A private. This is your B private, C private. Okay. If you want to write a private IP, you should always start with these numbers only. In class A, if you want to write, start with maybe 10.1.2.3 or 10.11.2.3, anything number you write, but the number between first letter should start with 10, remaining number vary should between 1 to 254. So this is the valid one. Okay. So if in case if I write instead of 10, if I write 11.1.2.3, is it a private IP or public IP?
Public.
It's a public IP because 11 nowhere comes here in my list. Correct na? Chandu?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Clear no? This one, private and public.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, clear, sir.
Similarly, if somebody asked you to write the host network ID for the class A, network ID for the class A, what you have to do? You see here 10.0.0.0 is your network ID for class C. So first letter is the number, remaining letters are 0. What you have to do? You have to write 11 like this and write 0.0.0 because class A only the first octet is n here. See here, first octet is n. You are putting 1 here. Remaining places you are putting 0.0.0. That means there you should also put 0 here. That's why I put 0. Clear?
Clear, sir.
Okay. So 172, let me write some private IP address. 172.16.10.1. Private, public, what it is? Guys.
Private.
Private.
Okay. So 172 dot, I am not changing the first two letters. 172 to 16 is common. Correct, na? 200.254. This one?
Private.
It's private, valid, class B, IP address. Okay. Now, what I will do, instead of 172, okay, class B it is like 128 to 191, na? So I have n number of numbers there. Okay. I can put any number. Say for example, I'll put 160.16.10.11. Is it what? 160, 16, 10, 1?
Public and class B.
Yes,
Class B.
valid IP address.
Valid. Valid.
Okay. Now, if somebody asks you to write, the network bit for class B, what you have to do? You have to just carry 160 like that, 16 like that, because n 0 0, what you have to put 0.0. Class B is n 0 0, correct na? First 2 bits for network, remaining 2 octet for network, remaining 2 octet for host. That's why I have put 2 octet as it is, remaining I have put 0. Clear?
So,
Ah.
Clear, sir.
sir, here you are written a private IP network ID,
Both
and
are
you are
same.
writing
Both
in
are
here
same. No, both are same.
public.
That's why I've written
Okay,
in the middle.
okay.
Whether it is a private or public, network
ID
ID is
is
same.
same.
Ah,
Okay, okay,
because ID is
okay,
for the class, not for the private and public category. Okay, that's why
okay.
I've written in the middle.
ID will be same.
Ah, see, ID is same. So for this, for the above one, 172, if you put done, 172 dot 16 dot 1 dot, sorry, 0.0, same, done. Okay, similarly last one. Okay, now tell me 192.168.1.10, public, private?
Private class C.
Okay, 100.1.1.1,
Public
public, class A.
class A
Class.
Yeah. So
valid.
see, basically you have to see, look for the these numbers. 10 idya, 172 16 is there, 192 168 is there. If these three numbers are not there, straight away write it's public, and then see what other numbers are there, whether the numbers are vary between 1 to 254 or not. 255 is there at the end, you can mention it as a broadcast IP address. You can mention 255 also, but it's a broadcast ID. Okay, if you write 0 at the end, it's a system and a network ID. If you write 255 at the end, it is broadcast ID. Simple. Okay. So I think too much for the day. Okay, tomorrow I have 2 slides subnetting. I'll cover tomorrow. Okay, it's almost 1 hour 45 minutes class. I'm stopping the recording now, and then I'll take some questions. Okay, thanks.